what I wanted to do today, if you're watching this live, we are 9th of Jan 2021. What I want to do is try and summarize in 15 minutes or less how to systemize your fitness business. This tends to be a big thing that 2020 definitely taught us, that if we can think of more imaginative ways to systemize, automate, put our business on cruise control, we can really take back control of our time. Now, the big aim with this, the big takeaway, it's a bit of a cliche, but we are trying to put you in a position where you can work on your business instead of working in your business. Hi Deborah, thanks for joining us, Happy New Year. So if you're working on your business, you are doing things to move the needle forward. If you're working in your business, it's like, to mix metaphors, treading water, trying to keep your head above water just to keep things alive. And it is damn exhausting. It is really difficult to do that, to put all this work in and not actually move forward at all. So what I want to teach you is how to automate your fitness business, and surprise, surprise, I want to teach you a system for how to systemize. There's a system for everything. So the first thing we do, the first step, if you think of this as a big hierarchy, at the top of your hierarchy, the first thing you need to do to systemize your fitness business or any business is to identify every single role in your business. Hi Cam, thanks for joining us. So so identify every role in your business. So for example, a role in a fitness business, maybe a personal trainer, maybe a content creator, admin, customer relationship manager, marketing, accountant, cleaner, etc. Now, of course, at the moment, if your business is less mature, you may be taking on all of these roles in your fitness business. You may be wearing every hat, so to speak. But as we go, and the beauty of the system that I'm going to teach you is, as your business becomes more mature, instead of trading your time for money, you can trade money for time, and you can start to designate some of these roles out to different people. So, roles, content creator, PT, admin, accountant, etc. Once you have each of those roles, for each of those roles, what I would do is write out a very basic job description. This is a great way for you to understand what the task is, or what that role actually entails, but it's also a really great way for if and when you do hire staff in the future, if that's a plan in scaling your business, as you do hire staff into the future, you can say this is exactly what that role is, and then list a couple of key competencies for each. So maybe a content creator needs to be creative, they need to be disciplined, they need to be tech savvy, a couple of key competencies there. Maybe your cleaner doesn't necessarily need to be a good people person, but they have to be detail orientated. This can be really useful because then as you switch between roles and you change the hats that you're wearing to do different things in your business, you know the particular personality traits that you have to bring to that. So that is the first step. Identify the roles in your business. Step 2, identify the tasks under each of those roles. What does that mean? The tasks are the day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year operations that each of those roles has to undertake. For example, let's say we're looking at the content creator. Maybe one of their tasks is to write a blog. A personal trainer, maybe one of their tasks is to send a follow-up text to a client the following day with a bit of feedback on that session, and maybe a resource or a blog article talking about something that was discussed in that session. Accountant or admin, maybe they have to reconcile Xero or MyOb or whatever accounting software you use. So for each of these roles that we have across the top, each role will have a series of tasks. Again, personal trainer tasks, that follow-up message, maybe programming, the personal training session itself, maybe it's their responsibility to send out birthday cards to clients, etc. Identify every single role. 2 ways to do this. The first way to identify every task, not every role. The first way to identify every task is to go through and say, accountant, what is everything they need to do? Group fitness instructor, what is everything they need to do? Etc. for all of those roles you have. The second way, write down over the space of a week, Monday to Sunday, every single thing that you do in your business. Maybe you're driving to work, maybe you're replying to emails, maybe you're doing a live video onto Facebook. Write down everything and make sure each of those things can be allocated to one of those different roles that you have. You may get to something and you'll say, hey, there's no role here for the task of sharing on social media all the PBs and achievements for our clients and members for that week. Maybe this needs to be the job of a culture manager, for example. So it's also a good way to cross-check and make sure that you haven't missed out on any roles. Let me summarize what we've got so far. Across the top, you've got every single different role in your business, every single different hat you can wear, every single different person you could potentially employ. Under each of those, you have a description of them, the key competencies, but then also all of the tasks that that person will undertake. So now you've got a pretty good look overall at, this is the hierarchy of my business. From there, the next step is to move on to checklists, because whether you're running a fitness business or flying a plane, checklists are absolutely key to ensuring things are done consistently. People looking for a consistent service, ideally a consistent high service, but consistent service nonetheless. So what I'm going to do is just read you through a checklist here. And this is a checklist, so each of the tasks you've identified will have a checklist where you can tick off these bullet points. I'm going to read you through a checklist that you may use for a content creator. So the role is content creator, the task is writing a blog, the checklist would be check a list that you've got of recent client questions. So as questions come in, you make a list of these, choose one of those questions to answer, research that topic, plan the blog, write the blog, add links to social media, and add the URLs and the links and a little bit of text to any automated software that you're using to automate the distribution of your social media content. Simple. That is how you do that job. Maybe for the role of cleaner, one of the tasks may be empty bins. Sounds pretty self-explanatory, but you want this super simple. So, step 1, remove bin, tie it up and put it in the skip. Step 2, get the 50-litre bags from the cupboard under the sink and replace the bag in the bin. Easy. 2 steps, but it's very specific. The question you should ask yourself here is, if someone came into your business, if I was to walk into your business, could you say to me, Dan, you're the cleaner. Here you go. This is how the cleaner does their job. And I can just follow those steps. It's super simple. Once you've done that, you've got all your roles identified, all the tasks under each of them, checklists for every single one of those tasks, which effectively is your policies and procedures, how you do everything. Then we need to ask ourselves 5 questions. And this is where the automation, systemization really comes into this. And we have a hierarchy. We have a hierarchy of 5 things. Ideally, you want to be at the top of this hierarchy, but we work our way down. Let me explain what I mean by that. The first step of the hierarchy is eliminate. So for every single one of those tasks, the first thing you should ask yourself is, do I need to do this? Ideally, you want the answer to be no, because we want to be cutting away the dead wood. We want to be taking away those things that we don't necessarily need to be doing in our business. What are the 80% of things that are only bringing in 20% of your results? Start to strip that stuff away. Efficiency is not about doing as much as you can before you break down. Efficiency is about taking away as much as you can before you break down. So first question, can you get rid of this? If the answer is no, the second question, we work our way down. Hey Dan, thanks for joining us. You will be able to watch this on replay. I know you're a little late joining. You will be able to watch this on replay, so that's fine. So first step of that hierarchy is eliminate. Second step is to set up. This is a one-time setup. So this is where we do something, we launch that system, and it's there forever automated. We don't need to do anything. An example of that, let's say that you have the role of your culture manager, whose job it is to help to celebrate the achievements of your clients, of your members. And one of the tasks they need to do is they need to have a whiteboard on the wall that when people hit PBs, achievements, they can go and chuck their name up, and then every week there's a photo taken, posted to social media, etc. This can be a one-time setup, not the posting to social media, but once you've got that whiteboard on the wall and there's a sign that says achievement board, PB board, whatever you want it to be, it's done. These are great. Although there's a little bit of outlay of time initially, once that's done, it's hands off. You don't have to do anything forever. And that's why this is the second level of our hierarchy, because it's a bit of work up front, but then easy forever. One of my favorite quotes pertains to this importance of doing as much work as you can now to make things easier as you go. And the quote is words to the effect of, easy short-term choices lead to negative long-term consequences, and difficult short-term choices, aka a lot of resources invested up front, lead to positive long-term consequences. So, can you eliminate it? Can you do a one-time setup? If no, the third step of this hierarchy is systemize and automate. This is basically where we create a system, which is that checklist we've already talked about, but then you automate that and it just happens automatically. Now, often this is done through some sort of tech shortcut. Let me give you an example. I use a tool called Meet Edgar for a lot of social media automation. So this is how I'm able to put out a lot of content, create a heap of content, bulk content up front, automate the distribution of that through the systems. Once that's done, it's hands off. I could not post to social media again for the next decade, and that social media presence would stay. Again, it's a lot of work up front, but then it's automated as you go, and it's really putting it on autopilot. If the certain task that you're doing is not going to fit for Systemize and Automate, then you go to Delegate. Now, this is fourth on the list. The reason it's further down the list is because the items down the bottom of the list are expensive, either in money or in time, the two major resources that we're playing with. And of course, we play with the positioning of this because if your business is less mature, we spend our time, because we have a lot of it, to earn money, which we don't have a lot of. As your business becomes more mature, we spend our money, which you now have more of, to buy yourself time, aka this is your delegation, because now we have less time available. Use the resource that is most plentiful for you at any one time to buy that other resource, to earn that other resource. So this is your delegation. You will either delegate tasks that are above your level of knowledge and your pay grade, maybe like an accountant. You want a really good accountant who is able to get you the most return for your business. Or you will delegate a task that is maybe below your pay grade. If you are earning $120 an hour as a personal trainer, it doesn't make sense if you're short on time for you to be paying a cleaner $30 an hour. I'm going to say that again. It does make sense for you to be paying a cleaner at $30 an hour instead of you doing that job of a cleaner. If you could potentially be earning $120 an hour, it doesn't make sense that you should be doing a task which is 25% of that. So you will delegate tasks that are above your knowledge, or you will delegate tasks that are below your pay grade. And finally, systemize and recurring schedule. This is the fifth level of our hierarchy here. Systemize and recurring schedule, what does this mean? Again, it's a system, so that's that checklist that we've already talked about. But this is something that you need to do. You can't automate this, you can't delegate this. This is something that you specifically, or this role at least specifically, has to do. So think of this as being something that you need to do again and again. For example, a follow-up text to a client after every personal training session. You don't know what you covered in that session. You don't know what the key takeaways are. So the SMS the following day, you need to actually send that message every day. You can't have that automated. There are ways to do it, but you're going to lose some personalization. However, the big mistake people make here is they try and store this up here. They try and use their mind as a filing cabinet, which means that there's no room to solve problems, to be creative, to grow the business, to move that needle forward, as we spoke about. So it's really important that you have some sort of external reminder to allow yourself to not have to think about this. So if you know that you see your client Jess every Tuesday, you've got a personal training session with Jess every Tuesday, you should have a recurring reminder. I recommend personally, and I recommend this to all my business mentoring clients, a piece of software called Todoist, Todoist. And you can basically just set up an item on that to-do list that comes up every Wednesday. So you're seeing Jess for a PT session on Tuesday. Every Wednesday, you open up this piece of software, you look at your tasks for the day, and one of the tasks is send Jess a text based on what she did in her PT session yesterday. And just these things maybe only take you 30 seconds to do, but you'll have a series of these things that pop up every day. Systemized, there's a checklist, there's a process behind it, and recurring schedule. So it reminds you to do this. You do not want to have to rely on your memory to do everything in your business. It will not work and your client experience will suffer. Let me do a super quick summary of everything we've just covered. The first thing you need to do is identify the key roles in your business. Once you've identified the key roles, identify the tasks that each of those roles is going to take on board. Then for every single one of those tasks, you need a checklist. Then for every single one of those tasks, you need to determine where it fits into that 5-level hierarchy. Are you going to eliminate that task? Are you going to do a one-time setup, so it's one and done? You're going to systemize and automate. Are you going to delegate, or are you going to systemize and recurring schedule? Guys, I hope that has been of use to you. Spend money to earn time, or spend time to earn money based on the maturity of your business. But in the end, what you are trying to do is work on the business. Move the needle forward, work on the business, or work on your life. Be a better mum, dad, father, daughter, grandpa, grandma. These are the things that you are trying to buy back with your business. Final takeaway point for you. Your business should exist to support your lifestyle. Your lifestyle should not exist to support your business. So make sure you've got the priorities the right way around.